What's up, Christians? Christian crowd. Shout out the all of the people who found their peace through the character known as Jesus. I want to just touch on the passage in the scriptures just flowing right now. I don't even know where it's at, but I'm gonna link the two stories up. It's the one with the woman who had the issue of blood that was bleeding out for 18 years and spent all she had. And, she said, if I could just touch the hem of his garment, I'll be made well. She does that. She's made well. And, but what was happening at the same time, though, one of the teachers of the temple named Jairus, his young daughter was dying. And, she was about 12 at the time. Let me say 12. Yeah, 12. So the woman who was also bleeding out, I think she was experiencing that for 12 years or so. I think there was 12s and 12s. You want to link this up to the divine feminine. Again, yes, it's a war on the divine feminine. They do not want that to come in. That's why there's so much, upheaval in a lot of spiritual spheres out here. But here's the lesson. They're trying to bleed out the wise woman, where the term witch comes from. It was only meant to denote a wise woman, like a woman full of wisdom. That was all it meant at the time. No, so what was dope about this is that she had to get her healing in a very untraditional way, outside of the confines and the context of the crowd of that day. So she got hers from direct power with no middleman. She had to comb through a whole bunch of middlemen, stepped over by a whole bunch of middlemen at the level of their feet to reach the edge of his clothes. But when she touched him, Jesus felt power and virtue go out of him. He said, somebody in the crowd touched me. I felt healing going out of me. I felt power come out of me just now. Somebody in the crowd was looking for something. Everybody was right up on him. They said, well, any of us could have touched you. The whole crowd is on you. Hoo, 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 hoo. Everybody started turning into owls. Hoo, 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 hoo. And finally, Jesus just singled the woman out. And he told her one of the most fascinating parts of the scripture that really changed my life about the whole thing, about all of this stuff. He said, go your way. Your faith has made you well. Now, simultaneously, while he's telling her that you can get power from God, through God, without religion, while he was telling her that, he told Jairus, don't worry, your daughter's just sleeping, because at the time she was dying. So he was doing a favor on his way to go do a favor. He was healing somebody on the way to go heal somebody. How you like that? And he was on his way to heal a girl, the young representation of the temple, the young representation of the divine feminine. And once he rose her up, he commanded the people in the house, after they laughed him almost, they laughed him almost out of the place, but he kicked them all out. And I think it was just a few people in there with him, and he healed the girl, resurrected the girl. And he told them, fix her something to eat. You got to give the divine feminine something to feast on. You have to. And that's going to be your energy, your life force. We're in the time of receptivity now, of magic, and it's going to need your output. So that's like the meal that the girl was being fed. Because without this process, the much more mature, seasoned part of you is just going to bleed out, because you're not going to be brave enough to reach through the crowd. You're going to rely on the crowd. You're going to be asking for references and recommendations. But if you would just disregard, all of what the status quo may say about how you should believe something, and you just go ahead and reach through the crowd, and if you even get to the edge of power on your own, you will have reached power more than the people who've been rubbing elbows with where they think the power is really coming from. And at the end, this is going to resurrect your youth, and you will be nourished and fed. So again, it's Super T Sigma programming. I thank you for your time and attention. Reaching is teaching. If it takes 1 million videos to reach 1 million views, then so be it. But in the meantime, know yourself for yourself and continue to vibrate out of this world. Peace.